Get this over with. This episode really is gonna suck.
Why you say that?
Well, this is the first time I'm looking at the show notes. I don't even know what we're talking about today.
Oh,
I just pasted a bunch of bullet points in it, and half of them are related to Jake. Jake's not even in this
Jake's
building.
not even here.
Well, that's all right. That's usually when gold is made.
Let's see.
And then not his.
Facilities matter. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the facilities that we built, how we built them, how we've gotten those things done while getting other stuff done. So top of my mind comes like barn, arena, things that we've had to put together while we're ranching. Building an arena sounds like a simple plan until you're trying to do it while everything else still needs done. Today we're talking about what went into building ours, what slowed it down, what we learned trying to do it without stopping the ranch. But first, last week on the ranch, I've got 6 things Jake related to talk about. He's not even here.
Well, we don't mind talking about Jake when he's here.
Let's start with the Roger project. How'd that go? Grandpa Raj.
Well, you mean the job that never ends?
Yeah, never
It went
ends.
well until changes, but that comes with it.
It does come with it, but you know, the type of changes, and I should have stepped in sooner. So tell, like, what changes are you talking about?
Well, just for instance, when he wanted one certain pasture totally cleared and come in when he's a quarter of it cleared and then stopping them and
Change in direction.
changing directions, then go back after we think we're done over there.
So I can relate to Raj because I'm the same way. Like for 2 reasons. One, I don't have the artistic mind to be able to
Like Billy.
Yeah, like Billy.
I'm not sure if that was a
I don't know either.
derogatory statement or.
No,
if
it was
that
good. How you go in and cut the trail, and
Okay.
Roger loved it.
Oh, by the way,
Proceed, sir.
Kayla's
Uh-oh.
gonna
Did
be.
he love it?
So anyway, Roger's job, I can relate to what he's doing because I don't have the vision to see that artistic, like the finished product. Sometimes when I get started or y'all get started, things get more clear and I'm like, well, let's pause this and let's shift and let's do this instead because I'm really good at envisioning starting and I'm an executor and it's like, okay, we're going to get this done. But then once it starts, it's like, wait, it would be better if we did it this way. And so I think that's what he was doing. You know, he plans on putting a house out there and doing all kinds of stuff, and he didn't fully picture in his mind what it was going to look like. So he did. We were supposed to clear 10 acres, damn near all of it. And he shifted gears and, 2.5 acres in was like, whoa, let's just cut a couple of trails. Anyway, that's all. Proceed.
Well, then, me trying to please the customer, which falls back and can burn our ass on what you've already agreed to get paid for. So that
Well,
was
yeah,
a big one.
I mean, it's everybody's prerogative to change to change their mind. If you see that you like something a little different or something, that's fine. You just need to talk to the correct people to put in that work order change. Instead of putting it on the guys that are out there trying to do what our instructions were, and then you're gonna come. That stuff needs to go through the proper channels, I guess you would say. And that's where I have a problem with it. Do
y'all need help over there? Are you sure? So, and I told you guys this. You called me on the last day of the job at Rogers. You called and said, he wants to know if he can pay for the overtime to have X, Y, and Z finished up. And that bothered me a little bit. And I told, y'all were preparing for some kind of ass chewing, like I just chew everybody's ass around here. But the problem was Roger had changes every day, and that's okay. But like Billy's saying, they need to go through the proper channels. And I'm not even saying that I am the proper channel. Y'all could be the proper channel if you were up to date on the scope of work, the pricing, that kind of thing. So what he ended up being able to do was pick and choose a couple of things that were on a bigger job later and that he really wanted. Anyway, long story short, and I'm glad to have gotten the job. I'm happy to have had y'all do the work. It ends up great. But as far as like project management is concerned, either y'all needed to be more abreast of the situations or he needed to be going through me. Either one would have been just fine.
I agree. I agree with that. Well, we did find out something last week. Young Austin over here knows how to run a chainsaw and a pole saw pretty
Oh, yeah.
proficiently.
I heard you did a
Pretty
hell of a
good.
job out there.
Yeah, once they knew I could run one, it was over from there.
We took advantage. Once we figured out that he knew how to run those two pieces of equipment, we took advantage of him.
I'm a lot bigger this week than I was last week just because I was running the chainsaw all week.
That's your head. That has nothing to do with your muscular structure. And then also, Dwayne found out just how gullible Austin can be at times.
Oh, is
Did he
that
tell
the,
you about that?
Yeah.
No.
About when you had him convinced that he was going to have to swim across that pond to get that wood out of
yeah.
there.
I mean, what
He
else
was
was
like,
I to expect?
He's like, I had Austin ready to swim out in the middle of the pond and get all that wood out of the middle of the pond. And I said, Austin, why don't you just swim out there and just grab that stuff and come back with it? And Austin sat there for a minute and he's like, really? You want me to? Is that what you want me to do? And Dwayne was like, I don't want you to do that. So he's finding out. I think he's learning Austin. I think that
It's starting to settle in.
I think being out there on that job for 4 days, y'all kind of got to know each other a little bit
yeah, we
better.
did.
I can tell y'all not sizing each other up anymore, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
How'd you like it out there?
It was pretty good. You know, it's different to do something different every now and again.
As
You know,
long as you got the right hat.
as long as I got the right hat, yeah.
So having Austin, or like what that allowed us to do is execute that job in the way that Grandpa Raj wanted it executed, because we've never done chainsaw work outside the range gates, and offering that as, I mean, y'all went in and on about 3 acres and then about 10 acres and then a little pasture at the back, y'all went in and made this Treacher Woods look like a city park, essentially, cutting up how high, 12, 15 feet off the ground.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Austin and Dwayne were full on arborists there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
You know what an arborist is, son?
People who cut down high trees.
I am so proud of you right now.
You
Trim.
even had him climbing one, didn't you?
Yeah, he's swinging on a vine also.
I saw a video of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta have some fun.
Yeah.
I told him it'd be better if he had a chainsaw in his hand swinging, but
Yeah, that'd be great.
That
Let's
would-
let Clower and
that's why we didn't do
insurance
it. That'd be
Craig
awesome.
see that. Yeah.
that's why we didn't
Well,
do
then,
it.
as long as they keep the reels of me cleaning that pond up under wraps, we'll
Oh,
be doing good.
Yeah. Lisa's in here too. She doesn't have headphones on though, so if you talk real quiet into the microphone, she probably can't
Oh,
hear us.
she's seen me do way stupider stuff than that. Nothing really surprises her. Matter of fact, I showed her one of the videos. You know what she said? That don't look that bad. I'm
It
like,
really-
wow, you
it
should
really
have been in the
doesn't.
cockpit of that Joker.
Watching it on video, you can't get the full. Like, I know what it was because I've been in the skid steer on a pond dam before, and it's a lot crazier than it looks on video. Something else just popped. What else did we do? Something just popped into my head when we were talking about Austin, chainsaws, right, hats. We did another. Oh, yesterday, nut cutting. I got some
we
good
got
footage.
we rearranged a few brains on some of these stud coats out here that are no longer stud coats, which is going to push them in the correct
Direction.
mindset to get some stuff done. So that was pretty interesting when you're handling some colts fresh out of the pasture that haven't had a lot of time on them. So it's always interesting.
And just to lay them over right there in the arena, 5 of them at once, just boom, 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 and watch that jump between their legs,
Yeah.
cut them with a scalpel, reach in there, grab those nuts, just strip them, cut them, clip them, done, spray them with their little Illuma shield.
Oh yeah, hats off to Peak Performance. They're top-notch guys. You know, they get out here and get the job done, but they don't mind laughing and joking a little bit and carrying on with you as they do it. And
Yeah, he's a good guy.
hats off to them. They did a great job.
We got a request to talk about the steer wrestling that y'all are doing today too.
Well,
Who
I
jumped
wasn't
on
doing it.
Who jumped on a steer's back?
Nobody did. It was all Jake's idea.
But
Throwing Jake
it's
under
on
the bus.
video.
and you didn't
Somebody
even hear.
did.
I had roped one off of a little dun filly, and I told Jake, I said, let's run him into the rope box and get the rope off of him. And no, Jake didn't want to do that. So he said, I'm just going to throw him. I'm like, well, get after it. So he grabbed the rope and he got drug around out there and flipped over backwards and burned his hands. And then Austin got off his horse and he's like, hold this horse. I said, hell, he'll ground tie, just drop the reins. So he did, and he run over there. And when Jake fell out, he jumped in on the rope and then run over to the where we had the pole drove in to hold the arena up and dallied it around there and pulled him up. And then Jake got back in the game. You should have seen him out there. And then everybody's going to rag me because I didn't get off my perfectly good horse to go roll
He had the
water
best
around
seat
in
in the
damn
whole
dirt.
arena. He
Water
wasn't
around in the
moving.
damn dirt with a damn 450-pound steer. You know, I'm like, I ain't getting off my damn good stick to do this. So
Where
I
were
just
you?
sat there and watched him.
I was welding.
Oh, he was welding.
I'll have to watch the video. I missed it, and I haven't really
missed
seen the
it.
video yet.
Oh, and
I
then
missed all of that.
same time, Austin's just now learning the program we've got going on here and what kind of horses we're making here, and I think he's pretty excited about it. What do you think?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
I think I've seen him take a real interest into how we do things around here, which is a little different than some folks do. But he's had an opportunity to ride around on some of them that we've put some time on and learn the buttons, and I think he's really enjoying that. And I'm like, that's the standard that we want all these horses. That's what you're making. So he's getting on. He's got on one that we just got going in the right direction, and he's starting to learn his buttons and think he's pretty cool. And he was out there working a little calf with him, and that gelding decided to get pretty athletic. Not bucking, just like really dig his feet in and turn back on those cows. And Austin wasn't ready over here, and so we put him on a perfectly good horse, and he falls off.
We need to get you a rough out saddle. Is that
And
the problem?
that's on video. We got that on video. That you're never gonna live that down
Got
here at the Black Knuckle.
too much oil on it. Need a rough out. Something too slick for him.
Velcro.
Is that the saddle? Jake
yeah.
just
Probably,
Finished.
yeah. The one Jake just put
Uh-oh.
olive oil all
But
over.
I told him, I said, hell, we put you on a perfectly good horse and you fall off. But anyway,
So Lonnie just sent me a text, and this is the highlight of her week because she saw an email before I did. But what's the full name of the company?
Meadowlark meat.
Meadowlark Meat. So I follow this guy named Ben Kretschmann on social. He's a
I do
super,
too.
super nice. Like never has anything bad to say. Just a real kind cowboy up in Wyoming or Oregon,
Montana or
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, I watch him a lot.
And he talked about this company called Meadowlark Meat, and it's like beef jerky and summer sausage, but like the beef stick, stuff you don't have to refrigerate. So I said, we'd love to try it. So they just emailed and said they're going to send us some. We'll eat
Nice.
it on the next podcast episode.
that'd
And
be cool. Does he watch us?
Ben, I don't think so.
Wow, Ben.
I honestly,
Do better, Ben.
I wish that he would, but I honestly get the feeling that we're a little too gritty for his taste. He's just like always nice, always straight laced, like no cursing, he's just a nice guy. And we're not really that nice, so I don't think he would be.
Wow.
Not as rough cut.
Yeah.
I've been caught a lot of things, but not nice. I've never
We're
been one
a
of them.
little rough around the edges, Billy. Ben is polished
Yeah,
up.
we're a little unpolished.
He's an impressive young man, though. I'd like the chance to get to know him. I'd fly him down here just so we could have him on the show, just because he seems like a
Let's
nice
do
guy
it.
to
Maybe
talk
we
to.
could get him to sign up to our roping.
I don't know if he could handle it.
He'd probably have to bring his exorcist with him down here if he's that clean and polished, and he come down here and he tell us.
And that, so I told Meadowlark, right? Meadowlark Meat. I told them they're brand new. When I went to their TikTok page, they had 0 posts, 0 followers. So I said, this isn't one of those relationships where I'm going to ask you to pay us, no sponsorship or anything. Just send us a box of meat. We'll eat it. I like to promote like good quality brands. And if Ben says they're good people, I believe they're good people.
Okay, well, looking forward to that.
So maybe in a week, we'll get you some food to eat.
Something other than Viennas.
Yeah.
Veins.
I was
Why do you
trying-
call them Vieners and I
They're
call
not-
them Viennas?
It's Vienna's.
Dwayne says
It's
a lot
Vienna?
of words.
Vienna sausage.
Dwayne says a lot of words weird. What do you call somebody that
Wait a minute now.
dwells in a cave?
Wells in a cave.
Sleeps in a cave.
Dwells
I have no
with a
clue.
D.
If I told you I was from 1,000 years ago and I live in a cave, what would you call me?
I know where you're going
Caveman.
with this.
I
No,
Huh?
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. It's a caveman, right?
Caveman.
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 What
It's a
What else does
Manahuni.
he say weird since
It's a
he's?
Manahuni.
What's he call ramen?
What do you call ramen?
Simon.
Oh boy, it's ramen, right? Ramen noodles.
No, it's cement.
Simon.
Oh, that was for real.
Mm-hmm.
Belly buttons.
Opu.
Wait a minute now. Explain that one.
It's Hawaiian for Opu.
I thought it was pico.
Pico. Opu's your stomach. Heine's your
That's just English.
Well, in case people don't know, Dwayne grew up in Hawaii on the island of Come On, I Want to Lay You.
Can we put a picture,
And,
Dwayne? Will you point like this? We put a picture of Dwayne with his bleach blonde butt length hair on
No,
there.
you won't.
Right
Out of all
there.
the talking I've did with him, he never told me I had blonde, long hair.
Blonde, and down to
Wow.
his belt.
When you first moved here?
Yeah.
Percussion. We don't need the percussion over here.
It's a Hawaiian cowboy surfer.
Oh, you had the surfer look, did you?
Mm-hmm. I was going to be a pro surfer.
Never
What
learned that either.
Moved to Texas, where there's no water.
Well, there he
No
is. If you go
waves.
about 5 hours south.
You were
There's still
closer.
no waves.
Yeah, no real surfing waves,
No.
but you were closer to the beach than we are now.
Hmm.
Y'all know what Stepford wives are?
I've heard tell.
I've heard tell.
So a Stepford wife, and y'all chime in over there without mics too, but a Stepford wife basically would be like a wife that doesn't have much say, that just kind of does what she's told, and for example, does the laundry in the house,
Wow.
cooks and cleans, get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich kind of wife. I've had some comments that would like us to address, and I throw myself in there because my wife does the laundry too, but would like us to address the fact that our wives are the ones doing the laundry.
Okay. Well, if you want to point out that the fact that my wife does my laundry, I'll also point out the fact, and I've said this before, I do 95% of the cooking in the house. You know, we share the task at the house. It's not like, you know, she's running around in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant making me a sandwich. I mean, she works just like I do, you know, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. It's like I said, it's somebody who's, I don't know. I mean, I just don't get some of these people these days, you know. It's just,
The specific question was, does she work outside of the house?
yeah, I had her out cutting grass the other day. That's outside the house. I mean, does that count?
I think what they're asking is
Yeah, I was in the house cooking dinner, and I was barefooted in there for a minute. When I looked down at my stomach, I thought I was pregnant. If that counts, then
but
hey,
she does have
I
a
may be a
9
Stepford wife.
Belisa has a 9 to 5 and she does the laundry. How dare you, Billy, to think that you make that poor woman have a job outside of the house and a job inside of the house?
Well, her being outside of the house was not my idea. I suggested that the yard looked like crap and needed to be mowed, and she just jumped right up and went to it, you know.
Did you do all of it?
There's going to be so much hate mail. She mowed the whole damn yard with a push mower.
No way.
Yes, she did.
No, but like
Not
the
your zero turn?
fenced in area, right?
I wasn't. Yeah, just a fenced in area. But I was in the house drinking beer and cooking supper and jamming to some Marty Robbins. So
Playing your
I don't know what
PlayStation.
y'all were doing, you know.
Y'all know?
The only thing that I can't get her to do is mow the yard in a bikini. Now, if she could do that, man, I'm tell you what. But it was a little chilly that day.
You
Matter
know-
of fact, she had coveralls on while she was out there mowing.
Y'all know what this is?
That's
If you know, keep it to yourself for a second. Do you know what this is? Don't say it.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
All right. Now, we're going to have to go on the honor system. Billy, you tell us what it is, and you tell me if y'all are lying or not.
Okay.
it's a Zamboni.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's to
Okay.
clean the ice.
Would you have called it by name?
No. I just knew what it
Ding,
did.
ding, 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 ding.
I don't
Handsome
remember.
and intelligent, y'all.
An ice brusher.
Yeah. It's an arena drag for a
Yeah.
hockey game,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I don't remember why I put that on my list other than we were talking about you said it, and I was impressed that you knew what it was called, Kayla Maggie. And you were like, it's common knowledge, it's this and that. And we got into this whole conversation about how, no, it's not common knowledge. The word Zamboni is not in most Texans' brain. And it was like, you just know a lot of things. I don't, sometimes I'm really impressed with the things that you know.
I am the king of useless trivia, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
History
I require
specifically.
a lot of knowledge about stuff that's just doesn't matter, off the wall crap. And
She's
then
straight
I
A
can't remember
student.
the important stuff.
She's a straight A student.
She's a straight A student.
Hey, I brought this up weeks and weeks ago. Kelly said he was bucked off your horse.
Kelly?
Kelly Vincent. Shout out.
I don't remember him even being on my horse. Shout out. Do
Yeah.
you, Caleb?
You know
Unless
why?
it was that little and pony that their mama bought him.
You know
for
why?
Christmas.
You know why I got bucked off that horse, Dwayne? Because you left hole. You left
Which horse?
You left holes in him. You left holes in the training. What you
Got a
did?
hole in his chest, too.
What was that horse's name, Caleb? The first one?
Why are you
you got?
calling me in the middle of the day?
Christy.
Kelly, you're live on the Black Knuckle Ranch podcast. Dwayne says he doesn't remember you being bucked off his horse.
That's some bullshit.
Tell us the story real quick. I'm sure you got to get back to work.
All right. So it was some party. It was like Easter or something like that. And I was out there riding John.
Now I know.
Now he remembers. Now he remembers.
Now I remember.
And like we were wearing paper hats or something like that. And so I was up on John. I took that hat off and went to go throw it. And he went. And he bucked 2 or 3 times. And that last one threw me straight up over his head.
How old were you?
Oh, man. I mean, it wasn't like I was young. I was probably 15 or 16 years
15 or
old, I would
16,
think.
yeah.
You didn't get hurt?
Nope.
Nope.
I know whatever kid was out there with me ran in the house, I think, and told Papa Black Knuckle that I got thrown off. So,
All right. Thanks, Kelly. Get back to work.
all right, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Now I
Bam.
remember.
Now you remember.
So you left him. He was riding by himself, I guess.
Yeah, he was out there with no saddle or nothing. He got on a bareback.
What do you have? A Burger King hat? A little
No,
crown?
they made, I think so, or some kind of little newspaper hat that we used to make.
Did you get mad?
No.
Really?
I thought next time he'll fall on his head.
But you didn't know he was doing it.
No, I did not.
That's something sounds like you would get pissed off about. There goes our
There you go,
TikTok
Lonnie.
followers.
They left.
She dropped them.
Wow, TikTok followers.
Arena lights. Man, I'm just blowing
Going
through.
up.
I'm just getting so we had trouble. We couldn't dig holes. We decided we were going to pound pipe 5 foot in the ground, and we were going to kind of strap the light post itself over that like a hot dog and a hot dog bun. And when the electricians showed up, they were not impressed with our ingenuity, and they said, I don't know if this is going to support this 30-foot steel light pole.
I thought it was a pretty damn good idea.
I thought it was too.
I did
That's
too.
good redneck ingenuity is what that is.
They're more worried about light post warranty and all that kind of stuff, and we just need lights.
See, and I'm looking at the way they did it, and I still, even though maybe it's a breakaway or something, but I'd have laid it straight on that plate.
Are you talking about the notches they cut out?
No, not the notches.
He's talking about
gap
the fact
they
that
left
the plate,
between the,
yeah, there's a 3-inch
tread.
gap between the plate and where the light pole actually, like there's bolt space. If you stuck
Did
your
they
hand-
put spacers in it?
I think they have to do that for code. If you think about like a stoplight or a city street light,
just in case something happens.
if something
out there.
hits it, it'll shear those bolts off and the post will fall down instead of crunching your skull. You know what I mean?
See, you gave that look just the way that I thought.
We can
Just
we
like
can
See me
ask
rolling
them.
my eyes, right?
I'm just assuming that's why they did it, but Cleveland Electric, you'd be the one to
Code.
answer.
What code?
The,
Well, since
the
when has
breakaway
Black
code.
Knuckle been worried about code? And other than the cowboy code, what the
Every
hell
day
else code
that
we got to
gate
go
opens
by
at
around
6
here?
o'clock, it's code.
I will say to some extent, with us opening the gates to the public and having public rodeos and stuff in here, we will have to do some things that we don't
It's
want
got
to
to
do.
be code.
Thanks, Clouder. Appreciate you, buddy.
Well, now,
You're a jam up guy, man. Thanks for all this stuff that we got to do extra, man. We appreciate you. I've only met you once, but you're a jam up guy, man.
Yeah.
I'll buy you a beer next time.
he
I
was
see you.
impressed with your
I do.
horsemanship, though.
Well, that's good.
I am not impressed with one thing.
What's that?
Our welders. Not
Oh.
this welder. No, not this one. The one that pounded the posts.
Oh, I thought you meant the actual welding
No.
machine itself.
Yeah, I'm
No. Well,
unimpressed
that's a
with that.
jam-up welder.
Why?
That-
What'd they do?
Oh my God.
That welding machine I have, that's top notch.
Vevor. What'd
No, it's not Vevor.
What'd the
It's-
pipe guys do?
They didn't center those plates with the posts that they put them in front of.
Really?
No, not at all.
See, I didn't pay attention to all that because I was too busy trying to get that welder that you think so highly of to strike an arc and hold and burn hot
That's
enough.
'cause
To
when I get on a
burn
job-
hot enough to stack them up like dimes. And you know what? I found a button on that welder today that you didn't know anything about. If you look on the right corner, right inside, there's a little button, and you push it, and it says, "Hi, I'm Mickey Mouse."
Hey, no
saying.
kidding. When I went out there earlier and you were carrying that thing, I thought it was lunchtime and you had a lunchbox in your hand. For real. And I'm not trying to make fun of it. It got the job done, and it's the welder that we have here. But I thought you were going to an early lunch.
It's because my budget fell through.
Okay, Miller Welder, shout out to y'all.
Shout out.
We don't need anything just huge, but a nice little stick welder would be good.
Yep.
Shout out Miller, Bobcat,
Or
No,
you-
but see, when I get on a job, that's the first thing I look at.
the welder.
No, the whole situation, and I'm looking at the way the welders pounded that pipe in. It's offset. It's not straight, so we had to put everything.
Are you claiming that the type of person you are is the type to approach a job, pause, and think it through from start to finish?
Yes.
How many people at this table agree with that?
There is a reason that you have been called kamikaze before, because if you ask Dwayne to do something, he's going to do that and 6 other things that you didn't ask him to do, and he's going to have your whole truck tore apart. F-word. And parts, Kayla got it, and parts everywhere in the driveway. How many times have me and you been like, hey,
He's a
Dwayne, if you're going to do this, don't touch this, or this, because you'll just start tearing shit
It's all
apart.
because of the first thing on Leilani's car.
Well,
What was it?
Dwayne is a go-getter now. Dwayne will get out
Lug
there.
nuts.
Unless you send him on an errand, and then he's not coming back till lunch. But, that's okay. I mean, that's all right. I mean, he's got to have his quiet time, too.
Lonnie,
I know
who-
what you do. You drive down the road, and you pull your hat down real low, and you turn on some Barry Manilow, and you drive to Granbury. And
No, Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton. That's even worse. Dude,
He's
I'd go
looking-
with Barry Manilow.
Whoa.
before I went with Blake
He's
Shelton.
looking for car washes. Where's all the car washes? Oh, there's one. Reminiscing. Lonnie, who broke your door handle? You want us to have him fix it?
No, that was a warranty job.
So you don't do everything kamikaze. In fact, last night you called me and I chalked it up to a butt dial because I was already asleep. But turns out you were saving the day.
Tornado.
When you had your cape on last night and your pajamas and your flip-flops, you were saving the day.
Saving the day. Oh, we got a horse that got loose. Broke through the arena. Not the arena, his catch fin.
We're going to work on your storytelling.
Yeah,
You're just straight to the point, ain't you, Dwayne?
that's it.
Sound like you told me.
Hey, you were probably watching like Bonanza or something.
No, I was
and
sleeping,
You heard
so-
Wow,
okay.
I think that shots fired. Shots
I
fired.
love Lucy.
I was in a good sleep.
I think he just aged you, Dwayne,
it's-
and you didn't even know he
Oh, I
aged
noticed
you.
it.
I watched Bonanza, boy. What are you
I'll get
talking
him.
about? I'm a Gunsmoke guy,
I'll
really,
get him.
myself. Bonanza's a little too cheesy for me, but I like Gunsmoke.
No, really, but I was sleeping really good. Finally got to sleep, and then I heard, it sounded like a tornado. Then I heard a horse run by my trailer,
What'd that sound like? Clippity clop, clippity
Yes.
clop. Okay.
kind of like Bonanza. So I jump up. First thing I do is call Brandon to help me,
Butt dial.
and it went straight to voicemail.
And Brandon left you in the trenches
I was
taking
asleep.
grenades, didn't he?
So if anybody would have seen me out there with my pajama pants, flip-flops, and a flashlight,
And you took your hat off and you had your Hawaiian locks down to your
flowing.
down to your belt.
That was
You
it.
probably took a surfboard.
And then I was back in bed at 12 o'clock.
How hard was he to catch?
So I had to take a shower.
How hard was he to catch?
He wasn't hard. He was just hemmed up down there by the gate waiting for it to open.
So you put a halter on him and you had to lead him 12, 14 acres away to the barn or what?
Yeah. Back up the driveway first, but then the other horses, these other ones come by, and
Well, you talking about the stud coach?
Yeah.
You ponied him on
Riled him
side by
up?
side, I guess, right?
I jumped on his back.
In Dwayne's mind, he grabbed a handful of mane and swung up on that horse and rode
I
him
wish I
back
knew a Pocahontas song.
Like Fabio
Caleb
across the
Fine
beach,
wood
man.
pillars
I
of
mean,
the
Well, credit
wind.
to him. He got the job done, you know.
We threw
Wow, Austin, I believe he's taking up for you, Dwayne. Y'all suck, man.
I didn't have to get out of bed last night to go get Chief.
Austin, be like everybody else. Just join on the pile.
Hey,
You
I
just gotta pile
I
up.
started this hero story because we just ragged on you about being kamikaze.
No, it was just something that needed to be done.
Yeah. And that's what we know we're gonna get out of you. If it needs to be done, you're there to do it.
Thank you.
Except this morning,
Oh, shoot.
But wait, there's more.
Billy. So there's been a couple of times where me and you have talked, or Jake has come to you, and then you've come to me, and hey, I don't know how Billy's doing mentally, and we've talked. Hey, Billy, Billy, what's going on?
That's been an ongoing battle for at least 47 years. I'm not
How's
real
your-
sure how how his mental stability is.
How's your stress level, that kind of thing. Well, this morning, Billy asked me that question, and I unloaded on that son of a bitch. Just like, this is stressing me out, that's stressing me out, this roping event. We've got the Black Knuckle Way / Billy Smith, like a cowboy rodeo, and then we've got Kinley, who's more polished, and she's wanting, expecting this, and this, and it's like being in the middle of the two. Kinley's way is stressful, and I'm not saying her way is wrong, but her way is more like lists and contingencies and security for the money holder and stuff like that. And so I let Billy have it, and I was like, well, this has been bothering me, and this has been bothering me.
And that was
this
all
is
right. I
freaking
was
me
glad
out.
to see that.
Thanks.
Where were
I was
you?
glad to see that.
That's what I was just going to say. Thanks, Billy. So now he's like, why did Dwayne see this shit?
Hey, serious question though. Had it been like Billy, what had been in the past, where like had y'all already talked about it, or was this just all Billy?
No, it's been all Billy because you know how Billy usually comes
That
in
was-
10, 15 minutes late
Now look,
with
now
a
wait, now
grudge
just
about
wait,
something. But lately it's been like,
look, just ease him up in the corner and pull back on the Ranger just for a minute. In the past 3 weeks, I have stepped up my game, have I not?
Getting
Except
here?
for this morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
I found out that how to work the alarm clock, and I set it 5 minutes back further, and now I'm to work on time.
I also think that you've been in a better place mentally. Would you agree?
Well, yeah.
If you
absolutely.
think that there aren't times where, and we don't gossip about you, but where it's like, hey, Billy's not in the greatest mood, avoid Billy, then. But in the last couple of weeks, you've just been. There have been times where Dwayne's been like, man, I don't know why, but Billy was in a great mood out there.
well, you
I'm
know what?
wondering
Go ahead, sir.
if it's because how easy the mulching job was going.
Oh my God.
You know, he
That
wasn't
has
pulling
a
up
lot
this-
to do with it. When stuff don't go to hell in a handbasket, it makes the day go by. But you know what I'm realizing that I did not realize because I've worked by myself so long, out on my own shoeing and trimming horses. I didn't have to be sociable. I just had to show up, and half of my customers
You don't
would
talk
leave.
to the horses?
Well, yeah, but that's
Okay.
different.
Okay.
Like, I don't have to communicate with customers very much, because most of them were working people like me, and they stuck a check under the, feed room door, and I just went out and done my job. So I didn't realize, and I'm starting to realize, and I don't know if it's, I wouldn't say flattering, that's the wrong word, but I didn't realize how my mood, affects the whole scheme of things.
The whole ranch?
Yeah, I started thinking about that. I know that I have my bad days, and I'm, everybody's going to have bad days. But at the same time, it didn't dawn on me how much my shitty moods and my pissy moods was affecting my coworkers and the whole aura of the ranch.
Three
So
things.
I've been trying to do better by taking it out on my wife. That's because she didn't
got
fold
some
my
grass
laundry
to cut.
right, and so I'm totally joking, y'all.
Did
I'm
she
totally
cut the grass-
joking.
did
I'm
she cut
joking.
the grass
yeah.
wrong?
She cut the.
So-
Well, she went. How do you cut grass?
Oh no.
If you were going to cut a 20 by 20 square, just wait. If you were just envision a 20 by 20 square of nice.
Is there fence
lawn.
around it?
There is fence around, but if it was just 20 by 20 square and you had a little bitty 18-inch 22-inch push mower, what would be your pattern? How would you start?
First, I'd go around the edges, then I'd go back and forth, back and forth.
I'd hit the perimeter of the fence to give me
You
a
would
little
go short
room.
way, or long way, or would you
long
just
way.
do a spiral and
I
come
don't
into the middle?
spiral.
Do you like to throw your grass in a certain direction?
Yeah,
Yes.
keep it off sidewalks.
I was just wondering.
What'd she do?
She didn't do anything. She done great, other than she didn't wear a bikini. But I mean, there's always, we got the whole summer for that.
We don't want you to feel, Billy, like you can't have bad days. When you're a personality like you are, it's going to go noticed when you're in a funk. And me and Lonnie are the same way. One of us or both of us being in a bad mood screws up the whole house.
I get it.
And everybody feeds off of that energy. So if one of us is, and it's the same way with you. You're such a personality. When you're down a notch or two, it's noticed.
Yeah,
But
well,
go
go ahead, sir.
No, you go ahead.
No, I apologize.
No, I apologize.
Age before beauty. You go ahead.
Okay. But I learned how to read people. Some people are just not morning people, so that's what I figured.
No,
Billy's just not a
there's some
morning
days
guy.
that I get up and I can't wait to get here and get going, and there are some days that I'm like, I got so much to do. I don't know how I'm gonna get it all done. But the thing about it is I realize that if I walk around in a pissy mood and I don't set the tone, that's a good way to put it. I feel like if I come set the tone for the day, everybody's gonna have a great day. If I come in, all doom and gloom, then the rest of the day is going to be doom and gloom. And I don't want to do that to you guys, but you have to understand something else. I'm a high energy person. Anybody can tell you that. I never completely shut off. I'm very high energy. I'm very, I'm more worried about, everybody else than I am myself. But at times, I get frustrated, or I get aggravated, or I get something that's pressing on my mind that I just can't get out of my mind, but I'm a very high energy person. And at some point, you gotta flip that switch, and you gotta come down a little bit, because you keep going wide open, high energy all the time. You're gonna burn out. I mean, you're gonna burn out. Anybody's gonna burn out.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I'm burnt out, but I have those days where I'm just I'm gonna lay back and just and then everybody's like, oh God, I'll put him on watch, and I'm like, that's not that. I mean, it's just I gotta. Sometimes I gotta tap the brakes a little
That's
bit.
why I say that I don't want to make you feel like you can't. I've had one friend like that in my life that I had to learn how to not handle, but how to coexist with. I'm not gonna check on you every 3 seconds when you're having and it's like if Billy's at a 10 and everyone else lives their life at a 5, and Billy comes in at an 8, it feels like the world is ending.
One of my wife's favorite sayings is, especially when we go out with our friends on the weekend, because I like to have a good time. I work hard. I like to play hard. I just do. That's just me. But one of Lisa's favorites. By the way, shout out to my lovely wife Lisa. Today, February 25th, 1981. One of the most precious souls in this world was born.
Happy
and that would be
birthday to
Lisa
you.
Smith. So
Happy
happy birthday to you.
birthday
Shout out to you,
to
honey. I
you.
love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. X's and O's.
We'll throw a picture of Bill and Lisa. Billy, do like this.
Do what?
Do like this.
I was going to throw the shocker.
Oh yeah, that'll work. Just set it right on top of it.
Never mind. All right, but anyway, Lisa.
Oh, hard hands.
Look, but anyway,
Wrong camera for
wait a
it.
minute. So, is that the wrong camera? Oh, well. So, anyway, I work hard and I like to play hard. So, one of my wife's favorite sayings is, Billy, you're at an 8 and I need you at a 3.5. And she usually says that at least twice a weekend. She's like, look, you're at an 8. I need you to 3.5. I need you down here. And I'm like, all right, that'll work. So she does keep me in check. She keeps me level-headed most of the time. And the only reason I'm talking all this good stuff about her is because she's sitting over in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm joking, y'all.
Within what?
So I could see right there for a minute.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
She's been invited to join the crew. She's not going to do it. Hey, what do y'all think is the most shocking thing about ranch life? For we had those electricians out here yesterday, and they were pretty shocked to see the inside of a ball sack. What do you think shocking to regular people that we do?
That's kind of a hard question to answer, because, I can't, to be honest with you, I can't look at it from that perspective.
Because you've seen it so many times.
Because I've seen it, and from the cradle to where I'm at now,
Well, I have not.
It's just normal, everyday stuff for me. You know, I mean, like when I grew up on the farm, you know, we raised and slaughtered our own hogs, and we went hunting and we skinned and processed our own meat, and we done all. I mean, it's just so I can't really put myself in a place of someone who hasn't seen the inner workings of
Horse nuts.
cutting bulls, making them steers. You know, taking studs, making them geldings. You know, doctoring bad wounds. One's run through a fence. One runs a T-post through his. You know, there's so many things that can go on. All that gore and all that stuff. The underlying aspects of that, I've seen that all my life. So I really can't take myself out of that and look at it from the outside looking in. So that's a really, really tough question for me.
It's not for me because I'm way closer removed from city life.
He's a New England transplant.
New
y'all.
England transplant. Now, you know, being out in the country for the last handful of years, but still, there's stuff. I wouldn't say it shocks me, but it's interesting to you too. But it's fascinating to me when we have a situation out here where it's like, hey, we're going to get 5 colts cut today, and then to be a part of that process where we're laying them down in the arena. That vet just gets there and he's slice, pull them out, cut them off, throw them in a bucket. You know, I mean, it's amazing. What's that?
Yes, actually, I know what it is.
But
Well.
that or just, you know, wrangling up steers and having guys jump on their backs and do what's necessary is pretty cool.
Yes, and we were talking about this a bit yesterday, that you were doing a little bit of picture taking and a little bit of filming of us actually, you know, getting these colts gelded, and you're like, TikTok's never going to allow this, you know, or whatever, you know, outlet's never going to allow this, and it amazes me some of the stuff that you see on TikTok.
Yeah.
You can see a vagina before you can see horse nuts.
You're making my point for me. I mean, the stuff that you see that should be offensive
Like this.
is not offensive. Stuff that should be offensive is not offensive to the mainstream general public, but yet you put something as natural as, you know, you're taking a coat, making him a gelding. It's a natural process, been going on for hundreds and probably thousands of years. I don't know when they decided it was, you know, I don't know the exact date on that, but that's something that's been going on.
I got a workaround.
You know, on ranches and stuff for forever, and for them to block that is the reason that people like the electricians were so wild and odd at what's going on, because if people got more exposed to the inner workings of what it takes to take a calf and bring it to the market, to put it in the Walmart shelves or the public shelves, if they understood the process of how that happens, they would be a little bit more appreciative when the price of beef goes up 65 cents. Okay, I understand that. I mean, people want to be about $2.69 gas, but yet you're paying $4 for a gallon of milk. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you don't understand the process on the farmer that it takes to get there to there. It's just like a good quality horse. I've had several people text me about some young colts that we have coming up that are just jam up fancy broke horses, and some that are just really coming along and just going to be great horses. And then they'll be like, well, price on the gelding, price on the sorrel, and I'll quote them that price, and it's not outrageous, but at the same time, you know, some of them, that's their cutoff point, because they don't understand what it took to get that colt here, side of, you know, from not being touched to out there spinning holes in the ground, or out there throwing a rope off of them, or being, they don't understand the process. And if more people understood the process of what it takes to get a horse from a yearling to a good ranch working horse, or a piece of beef, you know, from the hitting the ground to the table, they would be a little bit more appreciative about the people that actually do that, and actually, you know, still want to do it in the as many legal and all this other bullshit that comes along with, you know, drought and not enough rain, too much rain, not enough grass. You know, there's no such thing as too much grass, so I'm going to say that. But, you know, too much rain, not enough rain, you know, all that stuff, feed prices and all that stuff, that affects everything that you do, whether you're raising a freaking chicken or you're raising beef or you're training a colt.
I'm glad to hear that you're passionate about the education of the public. I'm going to need your help. I think we can get the video up on TikTok so people can see it.
Yeah.
But I'll take it and I'll shrink it down real small. What I need from you,
I feel like I'm getting set up here.
what I need from you is to sit in a chair. We're going to have to put you in a skirt. You spread your legs a little bit. I'm going to put the video right there where your vagina would be if you were a woman, and you just open your legs, because that's the way. I mean, I've seen vaginas on TikTok, but I can't see a nut cutting.
Exactly. You can't see something like the actual process of taking a colt and making him a gelding.
I think we can do it.
It's just, and then that's kind of like that. I don't know. I grew up in the era where if you stayed out of school because you were sick or something, bowl of chicken noodle soup, Afghan quilt, and Bob Barker was your best friend.
Left Bob Barker.
That's where I'm going with this. Let's just hear me out.
I love it.
I didn't know. Bless my son's heart. He's only 20. He didn't get to grow up in that generation. But when you were sick on a Tuesday morning and you woke up and you didn't feel good and you had to lay on the couch under a quilted Afghan blanket, eat a bowl of chicken noodle soup and drink a Sprite, Bob Barker was your best friend.
Saltine crackers.
Exactly. So and all these people that are pushing, spay and neuter your pets, blah 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 blah, whatever. So they push all this stuff, but then they want to block it. They want to block you actually doing something
Showing
to
them
control
how to do it.
the market and the population of what you're trying to do. I mean, that crosses everything. When's the last time you seen a dog getting neutered on TikTok? Never. When's the last time you seen a cat getting spayed on TikTok? But yet everybody wants to run around, don't buy from breeders, you buy from the animal shelter, and they want to push all this shit, but they don't want to put it out there for the public to get educated on what it takes to get this done. And that is, that's all I got to say about that.
So, and unrelated, I've got a serious question that's completely changes subject. But we've kind of established that cowboys don't care so much about their outfits, right? Or do you? When you come to work, do you?
No, when I come to work, no. I'm going to wear what gets the job done.
So, and this is a serious part. Why do cowboys care so much about the buckle if they're not concerned about the outfit?
It's an accomplishment. It's a
trophy.
It's a trophy. It's something that you take pride in because not everybody has them. Not
Like
everybody
you told me,
wins.
your two trophies in life are Elisa and your buckles
And my kids and my children.
and your jackets.
Nah, I ain't worried about that jacket. I got a billion of them. But
Humble bragger.
humble brag, whatever. But now, a buckle, especially if it's something prestigious, the thing about rodeo is we don't give out participation trophies like they do in t-ball and baseball and football and all this. And to me, that's where the world started going to hell. When you give everybody a participation trophy. Oh, you participated, but you suck. But here's a medal. That don't inspire greatness. In the rodeo world, we're the only people, or the cowboy world, we're the only people that will still stand and put our hats over our heart and not kneel for the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. We're the ones that go out and try to raise, kids that have some morals and some standards, and not give out participation trophies for every time that you just show up and you suck. Because sometimes you just suck. I've sucked.
Everybody gets a trophy.
I've ended up in bull ridings and rodeos where I just sucked, and I knew I was sucked, but I was hard on myself because I didn't get the job done. Well, you know what I did next time?
Harder.
I tried harder. I tried to fix my problems. And so when you put in the work and you actually win a buckle, even if it's in the semi-pros or the pros or even just a horse show. It doesn't have to be a bull riding buckle or roping buckle or anything else. It can be just something as simple as a 14-year-old kid that puts in the work all season on this horse and takes him to a local horse show, and at the end of the year, he wins a buckle or she wins a buckle. That's a source of pride. So that's why buckles mean something in the cowboy world. If you earn them. Because, we don't give out participation trophies in the cowboy world, because that doesn't inspire you to push yourself to the next limit. And if you know you're going to get a damn trophy one way or the other, whether you suck or not, how's that fair to the guys that put in the work, that go to the practice pen, that rope every evening, that go to a bull riding and go to a practice pen 2 or 3 days a week, or gets out there after school, a kid, and rides this horse for an hour and does all this stuff and then takes him to the show and does a great job because he put in the work. But yet the guy the kid that had the $30,000 horse bought for him that couldn't ride a stick pony still gets an award. Where you come with an $800 horse, you put in the work, and you were the best, and everybody gets the same thing all the way down the gamut. That's not applauding success. So
We didn't have.
sorry, I didn't mean to go off on.
No, I like that tangent, and I agree 100%. And when we were kids, there wasn't childhood depression and anxiety. If I would have said, "Mom, I think I'm depressed," she'd have slapped the shit out of me. What even is that? So the way that these, and Austin, unfortunately, you're of that age where, and Lonnie definitely, where those are things. Those weren't words that I had ever heard until I was fully grown, and so yeah, we end up as a society catering to those, and everybody tried hard and everybody did a good job, and you can't differentiate the real talent from everybody else.
I agree. It doesn't drive excellence. It doesn't. If you know you're going to show up and you're going to put in half-hearted effort, and you're still going to get an award or a trophy, that doesn't push excellence. It doesn't push the standard.
Prep them for the world either.
And that's what happened. That soccer and t-ball and baseball and even gymnastics. You can spout out anything other than rodeo, which some rodeo people will give all the people that ride the sheep the mutton busters, which I understand. They're 3 to 7 and all that stuff. But when Austin was starting out, riding calves and sheep and stuff, everybody didn't get a participation trophy. Yeah. But now a lot of them do because they're following suit. And I think they're going in the wrong direction, because if you don't push, if there's no reward for being excellent in what you're doing, then why put in the work?
If you don't cry at 4 years old because you didn't pull the ribbon off the calf and win the money, what is there to push you to do it better?
It just takes away the grit and the try.
Yeah.
I
mean, even Austin, I mean, he's been rodeoing ever since he was, 16 months old. I mean, and he had, seriously, that's not even an exaggeration.
What did he do at 16 months old?
Riding sheep. And then when he was, when did you get on your first calf?
3.
3. He was 3 years old when he got on his. And you want to know why he got on that? Let me tell you the story.
Tied him up there.
Let me tell you a story. Story time. We were at this rodeo. And it wasn't a huge rodeo. It was more of a local rodeo. But anyway, I was there and I was riding. And there was this young man, and he was, what was he, 9 or 10 or 11 or 12? He's a couple years older than you.
He's 2 years older than me.
Okay,
Sage
so
Johnson.
he was all over there, and he was ready to ride this calf. And I was talking about a calf, like
Yeah.
a little bit bigger than a bottle-fed calf. It wasn't a huge calf. So Austin was 3, and he was walking around following me around with his little chaps on and doing his stuff, and I wasn't going to let him get on, because from a young age, I didn't push any of my kids to do what I'd done. If he wanted to be, I say if he wanted to be a basketball player, he's only 4'7", so, and he gets that from me. That's in the genes. But just saying, if he wanted to play basketball or baseball, I was going to help him do that. I wasn't going to push him into something that I was doing. I wanted him to find his own path. And I tried that and I did that with all my kids, and it works out really good. But we were there, and this kid, you know, he was running around here with his chest bowed out, and he was going to ride this calf. You know, he was like 5 or 6 years old, and so when it come down to him to get into the chute and tie onto this calf, he lost his nerve. He started crying and squalling and bawling and wouldn't do it, and his dad was so angry at him, you know, because he wouldn't do it. And then Austin, I'm over there rosining up my rope, getting ready to, you know, for the bull riding, and Austin's going to come. He's going to jerk on my chaps, and I look down at him. He says, "Want to ride." I said, "Son, you don't want to ride that." He said, "Want to ride, Daddy." That's all he could say. I said, "If you want to ride, come on." So I took him back there and I put him on that calf that older boy wouldn't get on, and that's where it began for him. So seriously, he's been riding his entire life. But, you know, I wasn't going to baby him. There was the first couple times that he got on that I would kind of shoulder him and run out there so far and then let him go and let him hit the ground. But there wasn't one time that I can remember that I didn't let him hit the ground, you know. I'm not going to coddle him.
Cradling.
And that's why, you know, he is the young man that he is in all of my kids. I mean, I got a kid in the Navy. I've got one that's got a really good career going. All my kids are very successful. My daughter just made varsity in track, you know, and that's because they try hard, because they know that's what it takes. You know, if you don't if you set the bar low, super low, that's all you're going to get. But if you set the bar high and they fail 3 or 4 times reaching that bar and they finally reach it, it's going to mean more to them.
For sure.
Than setting the bar so low that they succeed every time. And I think that's what's wrong with these kids coming up these days. And that's why you have the depression and all that stuff. There's a lot of those memes or memes or whatever going around. Hey, evidently some of y'all didn't hold a flashlight for your daddy when you was 5 years old. I did. Evidently you ain't never been bucked off a $300 sale barn horse. I have, you know, and it's that kind of stuff that builds character in young people, you know, and I think that's very important. And I think that's something that we're, as a nation, are losing, and that's why we have so many problems in the world. You know, that's just my opinion about it. It doesn't mean, you know, but that's just the way I think about it. You know, I'm trying to raise somebody that's going to carry on the next generation and be successful, not somebody that's just going to have everything handed to them and expect that the world owes them something. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell all of y'all something. This world don't owe you a thing. Nothing. You start dying the minute that you're born. This world don't owe you shit. If you want something, work hard, go out and get it. Quit expecting people to hand you shit, because that's not the way the world works. And if you're going to go through that life with that kind of mentality, then chances are you're going to be mediocre, successful. Mm-hmm. If you get up every day and you work hard for what you want, then you're going to get somewhere. Now you're going to fall along the way, but you got to have the tenacity to get your ass back up off the ground and move forward. I've been knocked on my ass more times than I can think in life, just in life in general, you know. And I've built myself back up every time. And there was a lot of times I'm laying there looking up at the sky, you know, metaphorically. I don't want to get up, but you know what? I do, and you know, that's what I'm trying to leave behind for my kids, so they have that to fall on when I'm not around, you know, to carry that into the future, and even with their kids, you know. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm just talking.
What do you think about that?
Well, I got a girl, Kayla. When we had our little farm, you know, the other two didn't want to do it. I didn't make them do it, but Kayla, every time I went outside, she was right there with me. You know, she had a little first aid kit for when I tore my hand up, but she was out there.
Which is every day.
She was driving a truck and a trailer at 10. I mean, we're throwing hay and she's driving the truck around the pasture, but she loved doing it. And that's, you know, they didn't have Game Boys and all that crap. You know, she went out there and worked her butt off.
Kayla said y'all were rich.
We were rich in love.
Wow, Randy Travis. No, but I get that. I mean, like I said, and I've been, Austin will sit here and tell you, was I the easiest dad?
No.
Can I ask you a question? Now that you've got a little age on you and you're starting a little family of your own, by the way, you're getting married in March, and you're starting a little family of your own. As much as you despised me for the things that I did at the moment that I was doing them, do you appreciate those things that I, tried to instill in you when you were younger? The drive and the push and the grit and the all that stuff. Do you, because at the time you were like, you're just no man talking shit, I hate you, whatever. Do you appreciate it more now?
Yes.
Okay, so do I. My dad's passed away. He's been gone since 2017, and I hated it. When I grew up on a farm, we didn't go to the movies. We didn't go to the skating rinks. We worked. When we weren't at school, we worked. And there were times that we were out of school deliberately because my dad needed help bringing the harvest in. If it was corn picking time, if it was time to do something, time to plant potatoes or what, I stayed out of school. And then during that time, the teachers knew this, so they were a little bit more lenient on this way. You miss 5 days, you fail bullshit, because they knew that was our livelihood. Of course, lots of things have changed since the 80s, but there were times that I despised my dad. Yo, son, you just won't make my life miserable. I hate it here on the farm. But all those things that he was instilling in me as I went through the years, the older that I got, the more I appreciated the way I was raised, even though while I was being raised in that way, I despised it, But we found our own fun. I mean, we had coon dogs and we had, fishing reels and lakes and stuff that we did that kept us out of the public eye and probably out of a lot of trouble, But I hated it, But the older I get, the more I appreciate the way I was raised, because at the time I didn't know that he was building me for life in general. And I don't think a lot of kids get that these days. I don't think they get that kind of tough love, so to speak. And I think it affects them later on in life when they can't handle things that go wrong and stuff like that. Let's get on a lighter topic.
Lonnie's asking if I want to brag on my kids, and me and Kayla talk about the same stuff, and we don't. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess we do. We got a ranch now, but it's been different, but equally that. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a conscious decision. You being hard on Austin, your dad being hard on you. When Lonnie comes in here and starts talking, so we're going to be partners in this business, I want nothing more than to say, absolutely, let me hand over half of it to you. And I can't, and I don't. And I tell her, if you want some of this business, you need to start acting like you want some of this business, and you need to do it the way that, watch what I'm doing and this and that. And when Vince doesn't do his chores the right way and lies to my face, the world is coming down on him. He's going to be worked to death indefinitely. He's going to lose. There's consequences, and that's not what I want to do. No, I want to take him to the rodeo, and I want to take him out to dinner, and I just take him to the movies and do all the fun stuff. And we have the conversations about how, making the shitty decisions now so that when they're 25, they can appreciate those things, and it sucks.
Right. Well, even Dwayne, I mean, you've told me some stories about your father. He was a Marine, correct? Mm-hmm. So he was the roughest kind of dad, was he not?
Yes, sir.
I mean, he pushed you and done stuff. He was hard nosed with you, wasn't he?
Yes.
Now, do you appreciate it now?
Every bit of it.
Exactly. And that's the way that it should be. I see. I'm not always going to be friends with my kids. It's not your job to be your kid's best friend. And I know we're getting all into the damn what's it called? What's the guy with the mustache? Dr. Phil. But I'm just saying, let's just follow me here. It's fine to have those times with your kids when you're camping, when you're doing something, But you can't always be your kid's best friend. They will be your best friends when they're older. And what I'm saying, that there's time for y'all to have a beer together. Me and Austin have a beer together, or something like that, or whatever. But when they're that young and impressionable, and you're trying to be their best friend instead of their parent, you're screwing up. Mm-hmm. You're exponentially. And
they realize that
up.
Later in life too.
Exactly. At some point you have to stop being a friend and start being a parent. And, you know, and that all goes back to anything else. And, well, black knuckle horses. You know, you can let this horse get by with everything in the world, and then when he's 3 or 4, 5, 6 years old and he's a turd, who is the fault for that? Is it the horse's fault?
Nope. It's training.
If you're a kid's
It's
best
Austin's
friend
fault.
all the time and you do all this stuff and then the kid turns out not to be a functioning member of society, is it the kid's fault or is it the parents' fault? Answer me that.
Every time.
95% of the time. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's always going to be a bad seed. I get that. But the way that kids are being raised today, and to be honest with you, and I'm done after I say this, I swear I am. Stop letting your iPads and your phones raise your effing kids. Get the screens out of their face. Quit giving a 2-year-old an iPad to keep him occupied when you should be doing things with this child. And I know y'all like, well, this son was born in 1932. Well, maybe I was. Maybe I was. But you know what? There will never be another greatest generation that went off to World War II and fought for this country. And that kind of grit and that kind of tenacity.
Thank you, Dwayne.
As a whole, as a generational, as a generational thing, as a whole, there will never be another greatest generation as a whole. There's going to be turds, there's going to be people that are just there to get by, and there's going to be great people. But as a whole, the greatest generation, World War II. History nerd here. There will never be that kind of a generation again, and the reason that generation was so outstanding and won the war, the reason you're not speaking freaking German right now is because of the grit and tenacity of those guys, because the way they were raised. They were raised during the Great Depression. They were raised in the early 1900s. They were raised to have that kind of grit and determination, and that's the grit and determination that showed up in Iwo Jima, you know, all that stuff. And if it hadn't been for that, you'd be speaking German right now, wanting your schnitzel. You know what I'm saying?
You know any German?
So, you know,
No.
y'all can disagree. Y'all can all disagree with me if you want to, but you know damn well I'm telling the truth.
Nobody disagrees with you.
I'm not talking about
agree.
you. I'm talking about
Oh, well, flip 'em
podcast
off.
world.
Let's call that episode 9. Or 8 or 10, whatever this is.
Wow.
What?
I don't know.
You just...
Maybe this podcast didn't
You know
suck.
what's funny? You want to hear something funny? Germany.
Yeah.
We got a guy that's visiting from Germany. He said it's not Germany anymore. It's Indians. Total
What do
Indian.
you mean you got a guy that's visiting? Let's back up a second.
It's my neighbor from Hungary. He's got his friend from
Ah.
Germany here.
And there's Indians living there?
It's
Well, it's the same way in
90%.
Canada.
90% Indian. Not, and this is the way he says it. Not feather Indians. Dot on the middle of
feather.
the head Indians.
Yeah, we're still rolling. Still rolling for sure.
Is the camera off?
No, it's not.
Everything cut?
No.
But he
Nothing's
said
cut.
it's.
Oh, wow. Never mind.
He says what? Y'all keep talking if you want to.
Oh, no.
He's still rolling. I can see it.
I know. This is the reason I can never run for governor of Texas. That's why I'm just not gonna.
Too much dirt.
Scoot up, please.
Dwayne,
Yo.
did you see how I tried to pull you into this?
you were
I'm
pulling
gonna
me
start doing this shit
whole
more.
side of the table is nope. Yep.
Well, I was trying to pull Dwayne and Austin into the conversation. Did y'all not see that?
Yeah, and I think.
I'm getting nothing from these guys.
They did good, they did better than they have.
Well, that's 'cause I'm coaxing them.
The more comfortable they get.
I was actually over here rubbing Papa's on the ankle with my foot. So like, hey bud, hey, come on now, you can do it. You can do it all night long, Papa.
I'm used to it, but I can
I'm not a talker like Billy.
I'm very opinionated.
You are. I know it. That's
Yeah.
fine.
And you may not like that, and some people may not agree, but you know, I think I made valid points. Did I not make valid points?
No, yeah, it was really good. And then Austin put in a lot more than y'all think he did, because he was over there deep throating that mic, sound like Darth Vader.
What?
Luke, I am your father. Yeah, I was trying to pull you
Am I
into
too
the
close to the
conversation.
microphone?
You know, I mean, I wanted you to start going off, be like, I qualified for the World Finals when I was 12. You know, I done all that stuff, and I wouldn't have been able to do all that stuff without the drive. That as hard as I was on my, I was trying to get you pulled in, and I was trying to get you pulled in when I was talking about your father and how.
I didn't know everybody wanted to know about that.
Oh, I
You
know.
just talk what you talk. But I was trying to get you pulled in when I wanted you to tell some stories about your dad and how you were. I was trying to pull these guys in. I really was.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think they did a lot better, and you can just tell it's gonna be more and more as they get more
Yeah.
comfortable. Now, if you wanna
I
start
really
off
was
top
trying to
scores-
pull
I
them.
could tell there were 6 or 7 times where you had to stop yourself and say, "Go ahead, Dwayne."
I'm
And
trying.
You're making the chair with your spurs and you're shaking, but you're.
Yeah,
you're saying,
I was
"Rub my
trying to
leg."
get them engaged, and I'm going to keep doing that until you guys are like
He's
me. You
rubbing my
just
leg and I thought he was coming on to me.
sorry, y'all.